will be seen when it is achieved. Last year we took office in a very difficult situation. This ministry, and this is not an indictment on past leaders or past management teams, but it was just a circumstance that we believe was system-wide across government. This ministry has been one of the least decentralized of public institutions in our country. And so we took upon the responsibility, though it seemed impossible with limited resources, to establish county offices. And we started that by recruiting, how many did we recruit? 30 personnel for our county offices. Geologists and mining engineers. Some of them hold master's degrees. And today, some of them are in our midst here. Even when professionals are running away because their salaries are nothing, they stepped forward and responded to our invitation. I can boldly say here today, thanks to the leadership, the management team, we have concluded many of the county offices by getting the necessary arrangement with GSA to acquire office spaces where we could not find office spaces in public buildings. We are then able to also identify buildings to rent. And so I am confident that as I lead this ministry, 2025 for the Ministry of Mines and Energy is going to be better than 2020. 2026 will be better than 2025. Even in the current budget conversation that is ongoing, the current budget conversation that is going on, what we have so far is that by next year, in 2026, all of the 15 county offices we established will have vehicles. And among them, we have resident geologists, resident mining engineers in some instances. And next year, additional personnel will also be recruited to beef up the personnel strength of the ministry at the local level and even at the different levels. When we took over, we were able to send more than a dozen personnel to China for long training. They participated mainly from the energy department, and we are grateful to the government and people of China for that opportunity. Last year, we were privileged to work with China, the Chinese government, through the embassy near Monrovia, for us to close a chapter that had lingered for a long time. On a China aid, through China aid, the China Geological Survey, the Wuhan Center in China, in collaboration with the Ministry of Mines and Energy, work together to conduct what is called the Liberian Mineral Resource Survey. And the results from that survey, which our technical team has analyzed and thoroughly evaluated, has given indication that Liberia is more than iron ore, diamond, and gold. That we have what the world is scrambling for today. what is called critical minerals, even though for us critical minerals that give us the revenue we need to support our development are all critical, including iron ore is also critical. But we like to use our language in the minerals and mining law, strategic mineral. Liberia is now a center of attraction. I feel proud when I traveled on government delegations and interact with counterparts abroad, and all I hear in those interactions is that Liberia is the place for them to develop interest in. Just returned from the World Bank annual meetings in Washington, D.C., where the topics of discussion throughout those meetings were energy and mineral. We achieved all of this together, and more than that, the budget of this ministry, when we assumed office last year, was disappointing. In fact, it was demoralizing. And whenever you discuss the possibility of advocating for seeking additional revenue or funding support for programs of the ministry, the only feedback we got was that this is not possible. But I say to you here today that last year our budget for the ministry was a little over 4 million United States, is that? 3.8 million United States dollars. This year is a little over 4 million US dollars. And there's more to that. But there is more to that. What it tells you is that when you are united in purpose and committed to your responsibility, and you are patriotic and you love your country, anything is possible. The message we wanted to send to Liberians everywhere, both at home and abroad, and to our international partners was that transformation is possible, very possible, even with limited resources. And that's what we are being able to achieve. Last year, the legislature appropriated as a revenue contribution for the Ministry of Mines and Energy, mainly from the mineral sector, of initially 106 million US dollars. And then they increased it up to about 112. But as at the 31st of December last year, we had generated more than 124 million US dollars. Because of that performance, this year, the legislature assigned to this ministry 143 million US dollars.